All right, sir. So who do I have here with me today, man?
You have Malachi Maximilian Miskimen.
Ooh, that's a nice name, man. First off, nice to meet you. Secondly, man, I appreciate you taking the time with me to do this interview, man. So how old are you and what's your current living situation?
I am 29 years old, turned 30 July 1st, and I am, I guess the politically correct term now is unhoused.
I like to say displaced.
Yeah.
It's all the same, though.
Unsheltered or whatever, yeah.
How long have you been out here on these streets, man?
Almost 2 years.
2 years? That's a long time, man. Could you elaborate on what a day in the life's like out here for you?
You know, wake up, usually when the sun, you know, is about to come up, like, usually wake up because that's the coldest, that's when it's the coldest.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Wake up, usually dope sick. Just trying to, you know, think of a way how to hustle, make some cash, and, you know, support the habits, like, you know.
Without getting yourself in trouble or anything, or
Right.
implicating anybody, what do you do? What are some things that you do to hustle?
So, like you said, I'm not trying to do anything illegal.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
This couple put me on game scrapping.
Oh, okay. There you go.
You know, it's legal. People appreciate it usually when you you know, take away their garbage for them, and, you know,
Man,
they
that's
appreciate
awesome, man.
it. And, you know, I'll go above and beyond. Like, I won't just take the stuff that's valuable. Like, I'll clean up their yard for them, or, you know, take the stuff that's not valuable and just dump it for them. You know, try to help them out.
Man, that's awesome, man. I think that's a good thing that you're not stealing or doing what a lot of people do to try to get their morning fix or something like that. You know, that's awesome that you try to do it the legal way, man. I gotta shout you out for that. Also, I mean, just Tempe had an ordinance where no one's allowed to just sit. They call it urban camping. I heard that Phoenix did the same thing. Is that true, or?
It's one of those, I think the term is a blue law.
Yeah.
Where, yes, the law did get passed, but they're not really enforcing it.
They're not enforcing it?
I mean, I'm not saying they're not, but I'm saying they're not like gung-ho, like, let's go, you know, get the motherfuckers for that. It's more of a secondary charge.
Okay.
Or, like, if they suspect you of doing another crime, they'll just use that excuse to be able to run your name and kind of detain you for a second. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's awful, man. I mean, so you guys don't have to constantly be on the move or change spots or things like that, or do you just do that?
Some people,
is it just second nature?
Some people. So, thank you for bringing that up, because that's a lot of people don't understand this. So, you've noticed some people, you know, sit at the same bus stop all day.
Yes.
Right? They're playing with fire at that point, because technically, if a police officer is paying attention and sees more than 2 buses pass by and you're still sitting there, they can't get you for trespassing, which is just a headache in itself, because they have the right to search you at that point and, like, detain you. It's like IDing people and running your name is like crack to them. Like, they love it. They just, like, they need their fix. They're like, oh yeah, run their name, find any excuse to. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm literally
How many times has that happened to you since you've been out here?
I can't even come up with a freaking number.
Wow, that's awful. And what do you think makes them do that? I mean, I don't know that that's allowed. I don't know that that's allowed.
A lot of it's illegal, and I'm finally getting all the facts straight about my rights. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of stuff on the internet, or, you know, rumors and stuff that's not factual, and it makes you look like an idiot, and that can actually get you in trouble. So I've finally got some information from, you know, like, lawyers that are, like, you know, sometimes lawyers come out here and, you know, give us advice and for free. You know, it's like their community service, I guess.
Yeah.
So with that, you know, that weapon in my, you know, my arsenal, I have avoided a lot of situations where I could have been hemmed up, or I could have been, you know, harassed even more.
Man, that's awesome. So do you see a lot of people, like you said, they just want to harass people. So it seems, I mean, just you said it was almost like an addiction for them to ask for your ID and stuff like that. So is that something that just you feel that needs to be driven out or be done with? I mean, as a whole.
Absolutely. All we want as human beings usually is, to be comfortable
and treated fair, right?
Treated fair. We want to feel like we're getting an even shake and we're not, singled out in a bad way for any reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So my biggest thing is we get treated as less than human. I'm not exaggerating on that. I've had situations where a quote-unquote normal citizen will treat a dog better than the owner of the dog.
Man, that's awful, man. I'm sorry to hear that, man.
For example, if you do have time for me to go on a little tangent sometimes?
Yeah, please.
I was watching someone's dog for them, and I went to a Dairy Queen, and I was sweating profusely. I was it was hot out.
Yeah.
This older lady, she says, "Oh, poor thing." I think she's talking about me. She gets a water and an ice cream cone, walks towards me. I stick my hand out. She takes it back. She's like, "No," and looks at me like I'm disgusting. And goes to the dog.
That. Yeah, that's awful, man.
You know what I mean? And then she's like, "Oh, are you hungry and thirsty? You should probably get a job."
Oh yeah, I don't like that. I hate it when people do that. There's one thing I always say, Malachi, man, is people need to be, they need to think before they judge, because 9 times out of 10, the regular, so should we say, quote unquote, the regular population or the regular 9 to 5 working population is just a slip, a fall, a paycheck away from being out here themselves.
The economy is ridiculous.
And I believe that, man.
Absolutely.
Wholeheartedly.
They're one, injury away, not being able to go to work for a week or something.
True.
That can really, that's happened to me before.
Yeah.
Where, I get an injury or something, a death in the family or something, and I can't go to work, and then I'm fucked. I'm sorry if I...
No, go ahead, man, yeah.
And that just throws everything for a loop, and, it turns into evictions, and it's hard to get an apartment or a place to rent because of the evictions.
Yes, sir.
And it's a vicious circle. It's just like being institutionalized almost, but in the housing sense.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. People don't know how high in price everything is nowadays. It's like $2,000 for a studio apartment.
It's appalling. It really
isn't that insane?
It's
so
disgusting.
Imagine if you got a car, and you better not have a bike, you better not have a phone, because these things cost money, essentially. And at the end of the day, like I said, you're literally a slip, fall, drink, fart, burp away from being out here displaced yourself.
Yeah.
And I think people need to take that into consideration before, throwing slander out there, especially to someone who's less than fortunate,
Right.
I gotta ask you, man.
Yes, sir.
About your family. Does your family know of your current situation right now?
No.
They don't? Well, if someone were to see this video, is there anyone in particular that you would want to say something to, or no? Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. My bad, big dog. Here, I got another one too.
Royce and Mason, I love you. I'm sorry.
There it is there, man. I'm sorry about that, bro. How do you feel about ever getting off the streets, man? Is that something that obviously you want to do?
Yeah, that's what I'm working on right now, doing the legal work and, scrapping and stuff like that. I'm getting a routine going, and I'm getting, a route, if you want to call it that, where I'm finding the best places to go and the best, I'm still figuring out what exactly is the best things to grab and what's not worth it for how heavy it is, or how much effort it takes to break it down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm starting to get into the group. Things you think will has that must have a lot of copper
value or whatever. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, I bet it is hard.
Right.
I also want to ask. So yes, I was talking to you earlier. You were saying that you're from Chicago.
Yes, sir.
So what led to you coming out here to Arizona?
So I wasn't born in Chicago. I was born in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. You're absolutely correct. I'm technically from Chicago. So I was born in St. Joseph, Missouri.
Okay.
Lived there till I was 7 years old.
Right.
Then we moved to Chicago.
And what was that like? I mean, we hear so much about Chicago over here, and nowadays everybody's following the whole Chicago trend, you know, with the sticks and the switches, and the little kids are black killing blacks. I mean, a lot of people killing people. Just it's a wild, wild west out there.
And it's not exaggerated at all. It's actually
Afghanistan.
If anything, Chirac.
Chirac, there you go.
If anything, it's I feel like it's worse than what people think.
Wow.
And I'm not being facetious, and I'm not being, you know, like, you know, some people take us as badge of honor, like, yeah, I'm from the fucking trenches, and, you know, like that. That's just not cool, bro. It's not cool. There's black on black violence is fucking appalling, and it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Beautiful culture, beautiful people. You know, obviously I grew up in predominantly black neighborhood, and best friends. You know, my baby mama I was married to her. Not married to her for 12 years, but with her for 12 years. She's African American. My kids are half black. You know, beautiful culture, and it fucking breaks my heart that, you know, just because a person wears red and, you know, another person wears, you know, gold, you know, they have to kill each other.
Yeah,
right?
it's awful out there, man.
I also get it though. You know, I get that there's a need for protection. A lot of me included don't have a positive father figure. So we look for the big homies to give us some love, and, you know, we crave that father figure and that affection. So
I was told that out in Chicago, the little homies don't even listen to the big homies anymore. It's like YNs.
That
young fellas versus everybody.
Yeah. So I always tell people in Chicago, you don't worry about people my age.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, of course, I don't say you don't worry about it, but you really need to look out for those 13-year-olds in the ski masks that are trying to prove themselves. Because they'll pop your ass over nothing.
Man, that's awesome.
I've seen it happen.
And so, yeah, I mean, and then you came out here. Was it just like circumstantial?
No, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. You're fine.
So in a 6-month period, 3 of my brothers got murdered, victims of gang violence. My one brother, he in October of 2023. Yeah, October 2023. He got jumped by 12 individuals. Got put on life support. Pronounced brain dead. So October 9th, we pulled the plug. We made a decision.
Man, that has to be a hard decision
to make.
That
was very hard. I fell into, started falling into depression. You know, and I don't want to say we weren't close, but, you know, he wasn't my closest brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Freaking, I have 6 brothers. You know, so it's a lot of
big family.
Big family and one sister. Okay. Poor thing.
Yeah.
So, but it still, freaking was terrible. It was broken my heart. And then 6 months later, in May, I'm sorry, that was October 2022. That's what happened. May of 2023, May 4th to be exact. I was in the car with my 2 oldest brothers, which were mom and dad to me. You know, they were my, they raised us.
That's how it works. Yeah.
They raised us. You know, did the best they could. Yeah, they were gangbangers. They could crack. Yeah, they sold a lot of crack, but, you know, they tried their best. They did what they knew. You know.
And that's how it works. But it's like a repeating, you know, revolving door.
We were in a rival gang member's neighborhood. Made a very large transaction. I noticed someone following us. I let my brothers know. They just, you know, shrugged it off. Pulled at a red light. Very Tupac-like. They pulled up next to us. I saw the glint of the steel. I ducked. They weren't as lucky. They opened fire. I think it was between like 60 to 75 rounds.
Oh my goodness, man.
Just the car was just, and by the grace of God, I didn't get hit.
Man.
I don't know how. You can almost see it everywhere around me, but
like
me.
a body shape.
Yeah.
Wow. Man.
My brothers weren't as fortunate. One got shot 9 times, the other 6 times.
Would you say, not to cut you off, but would you say is that part of what led to your depression and you using? Would you say?
I don't want to make excuses.
Blame it on that.
Yeah, I don't want to make excuses. I don't want to, you know, I'm fucking man up and say, you know, I could have handled the situation better. I could have asked for help. But you know, at that time, I was 6 years sober. You know, because you know I had 2 kids, a wife, you know, a great job. I still have my CDL, you know, doing trucking and you know making $75K a year. You know, fucking my house,
awesome,
2 cars. You know, it's going good. And then that happened, and I fell into depression. And my wife decided that it was a good idea to cheat on me.
That's usually the reason, huh? Man, I'm sorry.
I asked her why. Like I asked her why, and she said, "Well, you're not doing your duty as a husband. You're not giving me enough attention because of this depression."
Yeah.
Which is not cool. I don't think that's cool.
Yeah, not at all.
Kick me when I'm down a little bit. But,
yeah. I'm so sorry that happened to you, man.
Fine.
So you had 3 things that just knocked you off your pivot, man.
Right. I ain't gonna lie, that broke me even more, man. Like I always say, like she broke me. Like I was a fully functioning, you know, member of society, you know, and then all of a sudden just like someone hit an off switch.
Yeah.
I caught a mad case of the fuckets.
Yeah, just like you don't
very
even
suicidal.
care no more. Yeah.
Very suicidal. Had a couple attempts.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, just fell off the wagon, man. Started with drinking heavily, and then, you know, cocaine, and then moved out here, got introduced to those blues, and then blues weren't doing it no more, so going to fentanyl powder. I tried a couple times to get off of it, to no avail.
Man, buddy.
Yeah, man, you know, I feel like,
you know, trial and
tribulations. I feel like a piece of shit. I haven't talked to my kids, and
how many kids do you have? 2?
I have 2 kids, 2 boys, 12 and 5.
Okay.
I haven't talked to my kids in over a year.
Yeah, man.
Because I don't want them to, you know, see me like this.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you got pride, man. You don't want them to see you like this. But when I look at all the people that I see a lot of people every day, man. And when I look at you, you look like someone that, you know, you're very smart, you know, I can tell, and I can just tell that you've been through a lot in your life, and when I look at you, I see someone that can, you know, get back on the path, man.
Yeah.
Anyone can do it, you just got to put your mind to it, you know. I believe that you could do it, man. I know it's going to be hard, it's going to be a struggle, especially being out here.
Yeah.
But I think you could do it, man, you know?
No, man, just got to put my nose to the grindstone and just,
nose to the ground and get to it.
You'll be like a duck, you know, let it roll off my back, all this petty bullshit. No, I notice I help everybody else with their problems. I try to, you know what I mean? Like, if somebody needs help with something, I make sure I make them the priority, you know? And I figured it out. I figured out that I do that so I don't have to deal with my own problems.
That happens. That's true. That's funny you bring that up. That's real. That's real right there.
Yeah.
That happens, bro.
Same thing with the drug use, you know?
Yeah.
I have too many emotions. I feel like I feel too much and I don't like it.
Yeah.
So I numb myself, you know what I mean? Too many.
Yeah, you want to put them way back in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I got a question for you, man.
Yes, sir.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now, man?
So.
All right, Malachi. Where were we, man?
Where I see myself in 5 years.
Yep. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, bud?
Sober.
That's good.
You know, steady job.
Yep.
You know, my own place. You know, not that I don't have custody of my kids, but you know, like some kind of written agreement. You know, have the kids. You know, time set where I for sure am gonna have the kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like schedules, like so it's not so they have some structure because growing up I had no structure.
And you feel that having some kind of structure is definitely gonna help you with those walls that you need to push down to live a constructive
Absolutely.
life, right?
Not even for me, just for my children, you know?
Yeah, that
like
makes
I said,
sense.
growing up as zero structure, and I looking back at, that's what I craved. That's why I did so many, that's why I joined the gangs, and I joined I played football, and it's all because I craved structure. I craved there to be some kind of
mentorship.
Father figure. I don't want to say authority. Yeah, father figure. I don't want to say authority because I have a problem with authority.
Yeah.
But yeah, just some kind of. I just wanted to feel like I was worth something. Somebody to believe
to care
in me.
about you. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's all we need. A helping hand versus a pull down.
Right.
Pull me up, not down.
Right. I always tell people, I need a hand up, not a hand out.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense. I
don't like being a beggar. I don't like feeling like a beggar. But if it's something like I know it's gonna help me, and I can reciprocate in some kind of way.
Yeah.
I don't like coming to not bringing anything to the table.
That's real. Yeah, I can agree with that, man.
Yeah.
Well, man, that was it. I want to thank you so much, Malachi, for giving me a little bit of your time, bro. Hopefully, when I see you again, we can do an update, man. And hopefully you're doing a lot better than you are today. I'm always out here, man. I got some stuff for you, some socks and stuff. I just want to thank you, man, for giving me a little bit of time and to sharing your story with us, man.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Thank you.